So we say in the United States, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I disagree. I disagree with the pursuit of happiness. I want to start with a pretty serious point. The Quran actually, in its entire discourse, never describes the pursuit of happiness as a real goal. The furthest it goes is the pursuit of contentment, but it never actually acknowledges happiness. Not in the way that we think about happiness. I want to build this over the next 20 or so minutes. I want to give you pursuits, literal pursuits that you and I have that go far beyond happiness, that take a lot of effort. And let's, by the way, start at point zero. The lowest pursuit that I'm sharing with you today is actually the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't take much to be happy. Some of you have class at 9 a.m. and you stay home sleeping and it makes you happy. It didn't take much to get happy. Some of you are sitting there, instead of going to get up and do something, you sit there and eat cheese puffs and it makes you happy. Swiss rolls can make you happy. Doing nothing, for some people, doing nothing just makes them happy. So being happy is not really an accomplishment. Obviously, it's something that goes away very quickly too, but it's not really something that takes too much effort. As a matter of fact, most of the time when people are talking about being happy and why they're not happy, they usually blame it on other people. It's because of you, I'm not happy. It's because of the weather, I'm not happy. It's because of Donald Trump, I'm not happy, etc., etc. But then there's a pursuit higher than that, and I'm going to build a number of pursuits, and the lowest of them in today's conversation is the pursuit of happiness. Here's the next pursuit. It's the pursuit of cool. It's the pursuit of social acceptability. I'm calling it cool. And what that means is that I want to be like everyone else. I don't want to be the weird one. There are young people that go to high school and they look different from everyone else. And it makes them feel awkward. So they make sure the next time they can go shopping for clothes, they're going to think about what can I wear that when I wear it and walk down the hallway in school, people aren't going to look at me funny or make a comment. I need to be able to dress in a way, look a way, and talk in a way that does not make me stick out like a sore thumb. I don't want to be the black sheep. I don't want to be the odd one out. I want to be able to fit in and be cool like everybody else. And this, for a lot of people, for a lot of Muslims, they have that struggle. It's a very real struggle, especially for a lot of Muslim youth. Because the kinds of pressures they have are enormous. It's very hard to fit in. There are comments they hear all the time. Our girls go through this struggle every day, especially the ones that wear a hijab. It's not easy. They stick out and people make mean comments to them. The school environment can be a very brutal environment. But regardless, for some people, this becomes a pursuit. As a matter of fact, everything they do. I've even met young people, they don't even like listening to certain kinds of music, but they only do so because all the other friends do it, and they'd feel weird if they didn't do it. They dress a certain way because if they didn't, their friends would actually make fun of them. This becomes a pursuit for people. And by the way, this is not just something that affects young people. It affects old people too. It affects our elders too. They want to fit in too. They want to make decisions based on what other people are doing. They want to move into a neighborhood because everybody else moved into that neighborhood. What are people going to say? Their financial decisions, their business decisions, their family decisions, even who they're going to let their kids marry decisions are almost all the time based on what they think is socially acceptable. They don't think about what's best for them or what's best for the family, but rather what's socially acceptable. That becomes more important. So that's the pursuit of cool. But then there are some people that go even at a higher level of pursuit. What are you after? What are you working for in life? And that next pursuit for some people is the pursuit of popularity. The lowest was happiness. What was next? Cool. What's third? Popularity. I don't just want to be cool, I want to be the coolest. For some people, it's not enough that they're cool, they blend in. They need to wear the most expensive clothes. They need to be the loudest in the bunch. They need to get the most attention. They need to be seen as, the one that everybody else wants to be around. These are people that live off of attention. They need attention. There are other people that are perfectly happy being invisible in life. There are people that go to your school and work in your offices, and they work there for 10 years and you don't even know they exist because they'd rather be invisible. And then there are people who live off of attention. They need it. And the way they get it is by any means necessary. Some celebrities are like that nowadays. They're good examples. They'll do anything to get attention. If they're musicians and their music doesn't sell anymore, then maybe they'll just get involved in some scandal. At least some other magazine, some tabloid is going to mention them. At least they're getting attention somehow. So there's the pursuit of happiness, followed by the pursuit of what? I forgot. Cool. Followed by the pursuit of what? Popularity. Popularity. And some people live for that. That's what they do. That's what their life is about. Above popularity, however, there are people who pursue something even higher. And they pursue prestige. They pursue prestige. Let me tell you what that means. For a lot of people in this world, it's not actually what you've accomplished, but the fact that you look like a big deal. The fact that you're associated with a big deal. So the brand of clothes you wear is more important than the intelligence you have. The words you have to say, the work you've actually done. The kind of car you drive becomes really important. So for some of you whose families are not doing so well financially, and your dad drives a 1988 Buick something, you'd rather be dropped off 4 blocks before your school. Because you can't be associated with a beater. If it was a BMW, if it was a Mercedes, if it was, it was something worth showing off, then you'd be dropped off at the front of the school. There are people who love telling you which college they go to. By the way, I'm asking for directions to the airport. The guy says, by the way, I went to Harvard. Thanks, but where's the airport? You feel the need to let people know that your self-worth has now increased in some way because your name is associated with Harvard. Your clothes, your body is associated with brand name clothes. Something. And for some people, it's actually who they've met, who they've affiliated with. You know who I met? You know who I have a selfie with? It's not actually about you, it's about these associations. You could go to Harvard and be failing all of your classes, but you still get to say, I go to Harvard. You could say that. But at least it looks good on paper. Prestige. And for a lot of people, their entire life is about the image of prestige. That's all it is. That's all they work for. I'm going to start from scratch again. What was the lowest pursuit? Happiness. What was above that? Cool. What was the third? Popularity. And above it is what? Prestige. Some of you, your parents have ingrained in you that you must graduate out of med school because unless you're a doctor, you will have no prestige in society. Nobody will want to marry you. And until you do this, you will have absolutely no prestige. Some of you are working and you rent an apartment and your parents are saying until you buy a house in a mortgage that is far beyond anything you can make economic sense of, until you own a house, you have no prestige. Anybody who has any respect owns a house at least. And out of prestige, people put themselves in social difficulty, psychological difficulty, economic difficulty, spiritual difficulty. Just out of prestige. But then there are people who pursue even higher. We've made a list of quite a few things, but we're going to keep going. There are people whose lives are dedicated beyond prestige to one thing and one thing only. الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالًا وَعَدَّدَهُ. Money. They don't care about prestige. They don't care about looking cool. They don't care about being popular. They don't care about happiness. They don't care about anything. All they care about is what? Money. And these people are good at making money. They wear smelly, dirty t-shirts. They look like they're homeless, but they're making 30 grand a day. They know how to make money. And they're driving like the ugliest car. They don't spend it on anything. If you look at them, if you met them, you would not know that they are worth millions of dollars, but they are. Because these people are focused. They know that that happiness or cool or popularity or prestige isn't worth it. The real deal is how you make money. And these people are smart and they work hard. They work hard. These are rigorous people. They know how to get the job done. They know how to make that money. They live a miserable life too, by the way. Because they spend all of that energy, and they have a God-given gift. Maybe they're entrepreneurs or they're really good at their career and they know how to get those promotions. They exhaust every bit of their energy in this direction, and they leave behind a family that's been abandoned. They don't have much in terms of friends. They don't really even take care of their own health. They are miserable in every other aspect of life. The only time you see them come alive is when there's talk about the business, when there's talk about the next investment, when there's talk about moving the career further. That's all they pursue. So that's money. I forgot the list. What was the first one? Happiness. Then cool. Then popularity. Then prestige. And on top of that one, money. And then there are people, and by the way, as I go up, it takes more effort, if you notice. Happiness, eat a banana and be happy. It doesn't take no effort. Being cool requires a little more effort. You want to get popular, you got to do some stuff. You got to make some more effort. You want to get prestige, it's going to cost you. You want to get to make money, you're going to put a lot of work in. You understand? As we go higher up, it takes more and more grit, more and more work, more and more effort on your part. Now the pursuit above that is actually pretty amazing. It's the pursuit of excellence. It's the pursuit of excellence. There are people among the audience here that are wired that way. They don't care about money or anything else I just mentioned. All they care about is being number one. They don't want to just pass the class. They want to be the highest grade. They don't want to graduate. They want to be the valedictorian. They don't want to be the basketball player that made the team. They want to be the MVP. And these people are never satisfied. They're never satisfied. They could get 100 on every exam and they're still like, I need to do more. I'm not doing enough. They could be winning they could be an athlete and they are ahead of their entire team. They've broken every record and they still don't take a rest because they're constantly fighting not against an opponent, but against themselves. They're constantly looking to say to themselves, I haven't done enough. I haven't pushed enough. I haven't gone far enough. And these are some incredible people in the world. These are people, you'll find these people athletes. You'll find them, some of these are entrepreneurs and scientists. Some of these people are researchers. Some of these people are activists, community activists. But they have one thing in common. This grit. They're constantly pushing themselves further. They're not like, if they were in a race and they were ahead of everybody else by 100 feet, they wouldn't slow down. They wouldn't say, well, at least I'm winning. No, I've got to beat my own record. That's how these people think. They are in pursuit of what? Excellence. And these are very few people in the world. Most of us, when we get to a passing grade, we're like, Most of us, if we're doing okay, if we got a B, you would be happy. These guys, they would be crying if they got an A. You met some of these psychos in school. They get a 99 and cry about it. You met those people? You want to slap them across the face so hard. You got a 75 and you went to Umrah to thank Allah. But these people got a 99 and they're like, how did I make that 1 point mistake? And then they're arguing with the teacher for extra credit and you just want to run them over after the school day is done. Right? That's what you want to do with them. But you understand they're wired differently. They're not like you and me. They're different. This was the pursuit of excellence. There are people that aren't, even being excellent isn't enough, because excellence is actually just about yourself. That's still just about yourself. You want to be better than anybody else and yourself. You want to crush your own record. It's still focused on you. Then there are people that say life is bigger than just aspirations that I have for myself. I want to change the world in some way. I want to leave an impact on this planet. I want to make my neighborhood a better place, my school a better place, my government a better institution, my country a better nation. I want to help children around the world. I want to help this industry or that industry. I don't just want to be the top engineer. I want to be the top engineer that develops, clean water programs and invents things that are going to help villages across the world that have a clean water problem. I don't just want to be a doctor. I want to create solutions that can provide medical support to places and people who can't afford it. I want to change the world for the better. I lose sleep over this all the time. And they, by the way, they have the drive for excellence already. But that excellence is not for themselves. it's for others. These people are concerned with impact. And there are a lot of young people today that are graduating out of top schools across the United States, Europe, Australia. They get their MBAs, they have 4.0 GPAs, they can get six-figure salaries even in their senior year of college, and they turn it down because they want to work for a nonprofit for not even half the salary. Because what drives them is not money, it's not even excellence. What drives them is what? Impact. What drives them is impact. And by the way, people that are driven by impact are very few people in the world. Most people just want to think about themselves. Most people just want to think about their own. And just be, so long as they can be happy, they're fine. Actually, most people are just at the level of happy. If I have my lunch and dinner, I'm happy, I'm good. I don't need anything else. So as we move up, it takes more and more effort. And as we move up, it takes more, it's lesser and lesser and lesser people. This was the first part of my talk. This pursuit. One last time. I'm going to annoy you one last time. I promise I won't do this again. The lowest pursuit is happiness. Doesn't take much effort. Some people want to blend in, and they are in the pursuit of what? Cool. Beyond that, some people want to get beyond cool and get everybody's eyeballs on them. These are the people pursuing what? Popularity. Beyond that, people want to look and be associated with respect and esteem. These people are in pursuit of prestige. People that don't care about any of that stuff, what matters to them is money. Beyond money, there are people who don't even care about the money. What do they care about? Excellence. And above them are people that are in pursuit of what? Impact. Impact. Now I'm going to stop that. We're going to come back to it. And I'm going to share with you an analogy in the Quran. The Quran is compared to multiple things. In the Quran itself, in order for you to understand what the Quran is, Allah gives you analogies. And one of the most powerful analogies in the Quran for the Quran itself is rain. It's rain. أَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَسَالَتْ أَوْدِيَةٌ بِقَدْرِهَا. Allah sends water from the sky. And the simple parallel is that Allah sent the Quran from the sky just like He sends water from the sky. The water that comes from the sky gives life to the earth, the dead earth. Just like the Quran that came down gave life to dead hearts. It brings the hearts back to life. So the parallel is very simple. The Quran is compared to what? To rain, okay? Now, let's think about rain deeply a little bit in the way Allah describes it, because when Allah is describing rain and the effect of rain, what He's also talking about is the Quran and the effect of the Quran. That parallel, once you understand it, then you'll understand that every time Allah is talking about water and what water does, He's actually also talking about the Quran and what the Quran does, what revelation does. Now, one of the descriptions of rain is that it produces vegetation, it produces life. But it doesn't produce the same kind of life. It's the same water that falls all over the earth, but the kinds of fruits and the kinds of trees, the kinds of flowers, the kinds of grass, the kinds of vegetation and shrubs that come out of the earth are all very diverse. All very diverse. As a matter of fact, even the fruits that look the same. Maybe there's an orange tree here, and there's an orange tree somewhere in Southeast Asia. The orange is going to taste different, isn't it? It's not going to be the same. So even though the water is the same, what it produces in fruits and benefits and life is actually very, very, very diverse, isn't it? This is important to understand because the Quran is one and the same. The Quran is one and the same. But the way it inspires you and what it inspires you to do and the good that will come out of you, the way that you're going to blossom and bloom, the fruits that you're going to produce are not like the person sitting next to you. I am standing up here on stage and I've got this mic in front of me and this is what I am capable of doing. But that does not mean that that is the capability Allah gave you. Perhaps you are a different kind of tree, a different kind of shrub, a different kind of plant. There's not one thing to do for Islam. There are countless numbers of things to do for Islam. The earth, all of the earth needs water. And all of it will produce vegetation. And all of that vegetation and all of that produce has its own purpose. Think about that and understand that every one of you has unique potential. And your life is going to be a life, if you understand the analogy of the Quran, plants have an impact, don't they? Plants have a positive impact on their environment. Not only are they releasing oxygen, they're also providing food for the environment around them. They're sustaining the entire ecosystem, aren't they? So they are fed by the water, and now they are the means by which the earth is fed. We are fed by revelation, and we are going to be the means by which the world will be a better place. The world will be fed, and it won't be fed in one way. You guys, each one of you, have unique talents, unique creativities, unique potential. Not only is it your job to discover that, but then it becomes your job incumbent upon you, inspired by the Quran, that you are not a pursuer of happiness, nor a pursuer of cool, nor popularity, nor prestige, nor money, nor excellence. You are going to be in pursuit of impact, inspired by the word of Allah. And by the way, excellence is a byproduct. It will come anyway if you're properly inspired. And money, Allah will throw it in your hands. You won't even have to ask for it. The rizq will come, and it will come pouring down. The provision will come from Allah. It will come if you have the right mindset, if you have the right mentality. But you and I have to now start thinking about being people of impact.